Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and it's finally starting to feel like fall here in Arizona, meaning that it's under 95 degrees. So I just want to say thank you starting off for everybody that participated in our first seed giveaway. I have planted a lot of the great American seeds that I had got from the Seed Up, and they're doing well, which I'm going to show you guys today. And I hope that our two winners have already started planting their seeds. One was in Arizona, one was in California, and I hope you guys have great gardens from it. We are doing another seed giveaway when we hit another 50 subscribers, which we're at 130, so when we hit 150, we'll put up a video and do another giveaway there. So let's take a walk in my garden and see what I got going on in my Arizona desert. Okay guys, so I was going to do the how-to video on this first, but this is my new big bed that I just put in on my patio. I have the plants down there usually go up here, but I just watered, and I'm trying to let them drain that way versus at an angle. But I got a few things going on in here, so let's see what we got. I have celery right here. First, in my other raised bed, I have shaded with some shade cloth because it's still too hot, but I have radishes, spinach, Swiss chard, which Swiss chard always is a beast in Arizona, and I have some kale coming up back there. So that one is red Russian kale, and I think Scotch blue curl kale, a combination of the two. So these ones are seeds from my Great American Seed Up. These ones are ones from the library, these are from the library, and these are from the library. So we are going to be enjoying probably the Swiss chard first, because that little guy over there is looking pretty big. So I went to the Whitfield nursery and I got some transplants of things that I've never grown inside, so I thought I'd let myself get a good start, celery being one of them. I am growing some snow crowns, cauliflower, and then I also got some extra transplants because some of my seeds got messed up. So I have some that are transplants, some that are growing from seed. This is a new one for me. It's artichoke, and I'm going to be growing one of those. It's supposed to get 2 to 4 feet tall, so we'll see. And then I have an amazing sage bush right here that we will be using a lot of. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to grow a garden is because I wanted to be able to have a lot of fresh herbs and to be able to cook with those fresh herbs, because if you guys don't know or aren't familiar with, herbs have a lot of healing properties. So we work a lot here, like our hours are crazy and we don't get to eat good healthy food all the time. So when we do eat good healthy food, I want to make sure that it's packed full of everything that can keep our bodies healthy and safe. Sage is something that you will eventually see all over my garden, just because it has such a cleaning property, both for your blood, both for the air, both of everything. So that's something that you'll see a lot in my garden, because we burn sage throughout the house, clean the air in the house because I do have asthma, and then I cook with sage a lot, and then I also make teas with sage. So there will be a lot of sage there. So it looks like I got my first little bee. I don't know where he went, but he was checking out the garden, seeing what we got going on. So this is a shosito pepper. Shosito peppers do amazing in Arizona. I have 2 of them because you only ever need 2. They will grow like crazy and you will get a lot of shoshitos. As you can see, it's already blossoming and it's not even that big yet. I have a cabbage over here. This is a regular cabbage that I grew from seed, and then I have a Better Boy tomato, which is doing pretty good. That one is a transplant. And then I have my basils, which also are doing really, really well. This squash plant, on the other hand, guys, we had a vote about which one to keep. I thought one was the healthiest one too, but it looks like it is not going to make it. So, but I am excited. I did get my chains in from Amazon so I can hang my plants back up. I'm hoping this tomato plant goes all the way up here, and then I can have some pretty flowers and the hanging plants right next to it. So also I have a Mr. Stripey here, tomato. I just trimmed him up because he was starting to get leaves everywhere, and I want to try and single stem as much as I can. And then I have my rosemary bush, which is doing amazing, and we have already started using the rosemary from it. So I have my rattlesnake pulvings, which are finally starting to really vine up. I can't wait until they're all the way up, guys. And then I have some purple potted bush beans, which, look at these flowers. These flowers are so pretty, and even the stems are so pretty because they're purple. And then I have some bush lake beans right there. In these I have my big kahuna beans, which I'm interested to see what those look like. And then remember, on this side of the bed was the side where they weren't doing so well. I had a lot of blank space where now I have green beans planted in there right now. Those are the big kahuna ones, and then the purple beans that I have been trying to baby are doing pretty good. These ones were attacked by spider mites, so I've just been trimming them as they need it and then putting fertilizer on them. The Kentucky Wonders, I think I'm going to have to replant because those are still looking pretty sad. But, guys, I was really excited about those giant red scarlet runner beans. Well, they have popped up. I had 3 of them pop up. I think I planted 5, and they are looking nice. Look at how big those leaves are. And then over in this bed, I just have some broccoli, and then I have 1 lone cabbage right here. I will be planting some Jersey cabbage right here, but it is growing inside. My eggplant is doing amazing, and it is flowering. Look at these pretty flowers on it. And then I have some more big kahuna beans right here. So I'm giving myself little breaks in this garden tour to sit in the shade because, as you guys can see, I'm starting to sweat. It's hot still here. Even though it is fall, it is still pretty warm. Our fall we'll probably start off at around like 95-ish, and then it'll go down to the 70s probably late October. But right now is a great time for the gardens to start growing. So if you guys are in Arizona, or if you are in harsh desert climates, this is the time to kind of get out there, experiment with some things. As you can see, some of my things grow, some of them don't grow, but at least I put them in different places to see where it is going to grow. I started a garden journal that I can kind of keep track of things so that then next year I know exactly where to put everything in my garden, because this is still my first year, so I'm still kind of learning where to place things. Also, what needs shade cloth, what doesn't need shade cloth. That's another big important thing. So over here, my peas are starting to poke through. I don't know if you guys can really see them, but I have a row of peas planted right here, and they're starting to poke through. And I'm going to put radishes in the middle here when it's not as hot, because right now I don't want to cover these because I don't want to cover that squash plant, because the squash, it's been doing a little shaky, but it's starting to kind of enjoy the heat a little bit more. The same thing with that thyme plant right back there. And then over here I have my carrots, which are making an appearance and loving life. Up next we have the plebano plant, which has a lot of flowers. I still don't see any fruit on it yet, but a lot of flowers keep popping on there. Every time the weather gets a little bit low, all the flowers open. And then I have my cucumber plant, which is doing amazing. So one thing I want to point out, guys, is that I had a bunch of leaves right down here, and they were covered in aphids, but those were the only leaves that were covered in aphids. Now, instead of putting a bunch of stuff on the plant, I decided just to trim off those leaves, because I feel like the plant put up a distress signal to the aphids because they're covering the flowers, and the flowers weren't getting pollinated because they weren't getting seen by the bees. So I cut those off, and so far so good. The aphids haven't really been coming back, so we're going to see. These leaves up here are looking pretty good, so we're going to keep checking it. Then I have my Phoenix tomato, which, okay guys, this one says Phoenix on it, so it better do well. And it's starting to get a few little flowers on it too as well. They haven't opened yet, but looking forward for some tomatoes. And then the one thing that I'm not great at are planting flowers. So those are some snapdragons. My mom's, I think it was too hot for them. These ones I think are alyssum. So we're going to see how these grow. This is the flower that was supposed to be in the front of the house. I grow a giant garden in the back, but always forget to plant the flower, or forget to water the flowers in the front. So I'm trying to see if I can bring that one back. That one is my jalapeno, which is doing well, and it has a few little buds on there right now. And then back up here, I have a mint plant that I got a transplant, and then I have a lemon balm that I'm growing from seed, and another flower. This flower is doing really well, so I'm going to get another one of those to put in there. Okay guys, so here we have some cucumbers, and then I planted some just random radishes in here while I'm waiting for these cucumbers to kind of really fill out. But these ones I'm hoping the cucumbers drape all the way down. And then we have some alyssum, just for some flowers. These are cauliflower in this one and this one. And then some random radishes here that I'm hoping grow radishes. They're doing pretty well, but I don't know if it's going to be too hot for them. The random bean that I had in here sadly is no longer with us. The heat got to it. And then over here I have the nasturtium. Now these are the ones that All-Purpose Mom Jerry gave them to me. You guys should check out her YouTube channel. And she gave these seeds to me when she came over to tour my garden. So I had them back up there because I want them to drape down over here, but they were reaching for the sun. So I'm putting them on the edge, letting them get a little bit bigger and giving more time for the sun to move. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this tour. I am hot. I'm sweating out here in the sun. So I'm going inside where there's AC, and I'm actually going to dry a couple of herbs and get those going in the dehydrator because I'm running out of stuff. So luckily, since I bought some of the transplants, one of the reasons why I bought some of the transplants of the herbs is that I ran out of all my dried ones from the ones that I dried previously that I grew myself. So I bought a couple transplants so then I can harvest from them and then dry those out, so it'll kind of get me to the point to where I have more growing in the garden. So I have some thyme and some sage that I cut from when I first bought those plants, and I dried them in a dehydrator. You can also hang them up to dry, but I just don't have room inside the house to do that. So I put them in a dehydrator and I put them in my little shakers, and yeah, they do pretty well. Actually, let me show you. So this is my spice and tea rack. So once I do dry or grow those herbs and dry them, I just dry them. Sometimes I ground them, sometimes I leave them in like flowers and stuff like that. Not all of these I grew. Some of them up here, like the Earl Grey tea, I just got from Sprouts, and I do those on my own. But some of the other ones in here I have grown and put together myself. Now these ones are more my grab and go ones. They sit right on top of my stove. So then all of these ones I did actually grow. And as you can see, I use a lot of time, so it's a little bit empty. So those ones I will be filling up today, as well as the rosemary. Well, I won't be filling them up, but at least I'll get something in there. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. I am officially starting to really sweat, so I am going inside. It's about noon here today, and I'm just going to get some water, maybe make some tea, and relax a little bit before I start planning dinner. So I hope you guys had fun on my garden tour, and I hope you are growing amazing gardens yourself. Bye!